Good morning, everyone. This is Corey Babka from the Marks Group. Just trying to get in here and trying to hide my webcam. There we go. Let's just, I don't know why it's not working. I'm trying to hide my webcam. It's in my way. Anyway, sorry. This is Corey Babka from the Marks Group. We're doing our monthly Salesforce tips and tricks. End of November 2018. Happy holidays to everybody. I will be posting December's tips probably tonight or tomorrow. Okay, and those will be, we're still trying to figure out the schedule because the end of December is always kind of tricky. So what we're doing instead is we will end up probably having those webinars or that webinar to go over those tips the end of January. Okay, so we're probably going to skip a month in there. But anyway, what we're going over today, this is our typical monthly tips and tricks webinar for Salesforce. We're going over the 3 tips that were posted the end of October, early November, about 3-4 weeks ago. Today, we're going to go through each of those. Okay. I'm looking off to my side here. Ignore me while you see my face doing that. I'm sure it's always typical. But what we've got on the left, we're going to be going over exporting a backup. We're going to be talking about creating a sandbox, and then we're going to go into the recycle bin, that item itself. With Salesforce. Okay, so those of you that are Salesforce people, you understand what's out there when it comes to backups, making sure your data's there. They're in control of that, but sometimes people like to download it locally. Okay, so let's just jump right into the backup. So you know, it's kind of like they will restore it if you need to. However, sometimes it's always a good thing to do before you do any major changes, major data changes, imports, whichever. Just export certain pieces. You're just better off doing it. The reason why is, you know, just because you could restore it, you could do an import, you could delete, you could work with them to help move things along easier. It's just there's a number of reasons. And what we do is we're going to go into setup. I think when Becky wrote these tips, she did it in Classic, but we're going to go through it in Lightning just to make sure that we're on the same page. So if I go to setup, going to go to the setup page, which pops out, of course, right? Our friendly setup, and I'm going to do backup. I'm just going to search for that, and I do not find that, so let's try export. Data export. So it's not really a backup per se. They don't want to call it that because backups, that's more like, I don't know, isn't that bad lingo for disaster recovery? So what they're looking at is just data export, and that's essentially the same exact thing. Now you can see here I've got nothing now, right? I've got nothing scheduled, nothing's there, but I can do export now or I can schedule one. We're going to go through both, okay? Let me just mute my phone so we don't get interrupted with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through both of these, okay? And we're going to do it that way and get it done. So let's do an export now. Okay, when it comes to this, you actually, I never really change this. I don't know why I would, and to be honest with you, but I do have, you know, I've got my documents, okay, additional time, I understand that. I've got some files, content, this is the actual files area, where you're looking at your files, right, this area. So if you want to do a true total export, you would do this, right? And I would not do this carriage return. I would just keep those as carriage returns. That's fine, right? But I could do it that way, and then we'll go from there. Now, what I would also do is it looks here, do I include all data? No, maybe not. Maybe I'll do just this, you know, get rid of, I'm looking for like setup. See, customizations aren't always stored in the backup. That's the problem. I do have some other pieces in here, like some other custom integrations that are in there, right? So if I just wanted to do, let's just do accounts, contacts, and leads, and we'll just do that. Go to the bottom, nothing else, and I say start export, and there it is. And I'm going to receive an email when it's done. Okay, and that's it. Okay, that's essentially what you're looking at. That is a one-time backup, and that's, you know, if I was doing major development, what I would probably do is do the backup, do the export, wait for the email, and then say, okay, I've got it and I'm good. I'm going to actually open up my email right here and see what I've got. And then this is, nope, I don't have it yet. Yeah, still don't have it, so we're going to wait a few minutes. Now let's do the schedule and export. Okay, so scheduling and export. If I do this here, this actually allows me to keep a copy locally. It's a zip file of all your CSV files is what it is. You know, once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do. Okay, and I might say monthly. Let's do on day 1 of every month, and we pick a start date and end date. I would change this to like next year. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Didn't do that. The fun of webcams. Preferred start time doesn't really matter. I could do 1 a.m. and then that's what it would be, and then I go from there, and it does. Actually, I did the wrong thing, didn't I? I want to do this, but I want to change this to 19 and say, let's set it to the 30th. Okay, that's a year, and then I save it, and it will say include all data, right? And I save that up, and that's fine, and that's what we've got. Okay, so it's been queued, receiving an email. I've scheduled the export already. It's already set up. I don't have to worry about that, and you can see where it is, right? There is a scheduled date there. It's been set up. We know that that's where schedule is. This one is still running, so that's why I haven't gotten it yet. Okay, but it does tell me next scheduled export is 1/1/19, a month from now, at the first of every month. Why it didn't, hold on, why isn't it doing it? Oh, I see, because I did it wrong. Let's go back to this one, 11/27, 11/30, and save that. Now my next one should refresh here. And my next backup should actually be 12/1. No, it didn't update yet. Huh. So either that or we need to, because if I look at the schedule and export, it could be that I'm already doing it. Yeah, see, it might not like it because I already did an export just now. Okay, let's delete this. All right, let's go back again. Data export. See, it says next scheduled one, but I don't want that one in there anymore, right? I really, really didn't want to delete that, didn't it? So let's leave it for now. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And data export. It says it's there. Interesting. Might be because I've done the other one. Yeah, so let's keep looking here. Nope, still haven't got that email. So what I will get, I can tell you right now, what I'm going to get is a link. I wonder if it's in the file section. No, I'm not seeing it here either. Sometimes I see it in the file section as like a zip file. Otherwise, I think I'm going to get an email of a zip file or an email to a link to a zip file. Within that zip file, you're going to have everything that you wanted. Is what it really is. Okay, and that's essentially what you're going to do. Let's see here. It says here you'll receive an email with a link to a page where you can retrieve all your zipped CSV files. You have 48 hours to download your data backup or download the data, or then it's going to be deleted. Okay. It's actually, Becky has a note here that it can take several days to complete the backup. So plan accordingly. I don't think it takes that long, depending on how many records you have, but some people it could take days and days based on if they have 100,000 emails or something like that. Because think about how much time you can actually do. But you see this is grayed out because one's in progress, and that's fine. Okay? All right. Tip number 1 done. So number 2, let's go to the sandbox. Okay? And today is more about data, as you're going to notice. That's kind of like the tips, or the theme for today, if you want to call it. So we're going to go into the sandbox area, okay? And sandboxes are an interesting thing because it tells you how many do you have, right? How many backups are you, or how many sandboxes are you allowed? You know, there's partial copy, right? There is a full copy. I don't have any available for the full, okay? Developer Pro, I have 0 available. It depends on my license, is what it is, okay? And I'm looking here to see the sandbox license. Yeah, see, it's got, I don't have them available depending on the licenses. Let me see if I can do a little search here. See if there's a grid. Let's go to this page and see. All right, so this is what our different types are, right? So we've got this is professional, performance, unlimited, enterprise. I have an enterprise, okay? So I do have 25 developers and I have one partial copy. Now, why don't I have a developer pro or a full, okay? It is bundled with 5 developers, okay? Partial is an add-on bundled with 10. Which I have the partial. And the full sandbox add-on is bundled with 15. Well, that looks weird, doesn't it? So I don't have that many. I have 25 there. I should have it. Weird, isn't it? So there's something here about you can buy more sandboxes. Okay, that's what it is. So I get developer already, but you can buy them additionally, and that would be working with Salesforce directly if you needed that. Okay, and I think it's sizing. Like if you look at the Developer Pro, it's a gig of data, right? File storage is a gig. So it's all about storage space is what it is. This is 200 meg as a developer. Generally no data, just customizations are stored. And then the full sandbox is the same as your org. Because what they do is they actually do a real, it's a copy of, right? And they allow you to do that, okay? Now the refresh interval is 29 days, which is interesting. So the refresh, like I've never really had it refresh on me, okay? This one right here is a backup completed 1026 when Becky did this tip. And the sandbox just kept refreshed for a backup of all development. And then this is one here that was 7/9/2013, but it was completed then. As you notice, I never refreshed it, right? So it doesn't do it automatically. I think they say they have the right to do so, but I've had sandboxes stay this way forever. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a new sandbox. As you can see, I've got 23 available. Okay. Or I've got a partial copy available. Right. Let's just do a new sandbox. We're going to call this partial copy. Yeah, so many characters. Only can do so much. Okay. Create from production, backup, PM test. It's another, PM test is another sandbox. Same with the backup, right? But we're going to do production, okay? Now, it tells me right here, what do I've got? Developer Pro, I actually do have. It says available 0, but if I do it, it won't. See, it says no licenses available here, okay? And then it says here, no templates exist for this organization, which is kind of weird. So we probably have to create a template for that. Yeah, interesting, right? So I'm going to do a Developer Pro, but I shouldn't need that. So I'm just going to do another one here just to show us what it is, and then we're going to go look at that partial copy. Okay. So I say next, Apex class. Apex class, you can, I believe you can leave blank. Yeah, and just say create. And then I've got a backup today, and it's pending, right? So let's look at sandboxes again. Sandbox templates, there we go. So I can do a new sandbox template, which would be we choose what do we want, right? So it's select objects to go in, right? Which do we want? And that is where we get this template that we can choose what we want and everything's in there, okay? And when it comes to this partial data, right, this is where you have to choose, you know, what do you want, right? I mean, it says tag definition, what's there. So if I do all these things, I check all these boxes, I could do them all if I want as well. And that would be a partial copy. But the partial copy, I believe, is bringing in what data you want. Okay, so select objects to copy to the new sandbox. So if I want a partial copy, I don't know, not data-wise, sorry. If I just want to do something with accounts, right, and the way that it works, I can do that. And I don't have to bring everything in. That's fine. It just saves on space. Okay, and that's where you are. I'm going to cancel this out. But if I had that template, then I could create the partial copy sandbox. Okay, this one's still pending. I want to click this again to refresh it. Still going. That's fine. Let's check that export. There you go. Here's my export. There it is. There's my download the zip. Here's my zip file. See, there it is, and I've got 3 files. Account, which is just an Excel file. It's comma delimited. Don't worry about that. That's a goldmine thing. That's another add-on I have installed on my machine. It kind of goofs me up every once in a while. Don't worry about it. My file will open up, I promise. And of course, Excel's not responding. We'll go back to it. I'll show you that in a little bit. So anyway, that's the zip file. That's what it looks like. I'm going to close this out. That's what I think is yelling at me. And away we go. Okay. So let's get rid of this. That's my export. If I go here now and I do this, it's still here. You can still delete it, but it's going to yell at me. Wow, and I'm in Classic. Isn't that bizarre? Like the link that they gave me went from here and it brought me to a Classic Edition page. Amazing. All right, so anyway, let's go back. Let's get back out of here. Okay, so the one thing that was interesting for me, so that's the sandbox to kind of wrap up, right? What we're looking at here is the we're going through this. We're looking at our backup. We're looking at our sandbox. Those are other ways to make backups of your data. But the last one is just talking about the recycle bin, and it's more of a I want to find the real information about Salesforce Recycle because there's a schedule as well, right? I'm going to see if they have notes in their help documentation. I'm sure they do about how many times things stay there. Okay. Available, and then available in all editions. Required edition. So available in Salesforce Classic, not available in all orgs, right? So this is interesting, right? So any new one, what they're saying now is that some editions are only Lightning Experience now, and I'm assuming that's new ones, right? And so admin users in the used orgs can still access Classic, but they aren't able to discuss. So the Lightning edition no longer really has the recycle bin, right? Which is kind of a bummer if you ask me, right? I want to see the schedule because that's what, okay, so here it is. Deleted records remain in the recycle bin for 15 days and can be restored at any time. Or you can permanently delete them, which is fine if you have the modify all data permission from your set, okay? And then after 15 days, they're purged and they're gone, and they're gone. Okay, so now when I look at it and say, let's do Salesforce Lightning recycle bin, okay, you're going to see a bunch of comments and questions, and it's not available, and say, as of today, there's no way, and that was as of a year ago, right? And that's it. So yeah, that's interesting. You can use it. You can use web tabs with a custom link that would help you get to your recycle bin. Okay. Now there's also this recycle bin manager, which is an app. It's not even. It's an app exchange thing. So you can go out there and see. Yeah, there's a new tab there. That's interesting. Undelete page, right? Create a new tab of web. Give the correct permission. Yeah, so that's interesting. So there's a few people that have done like workarounds, right? And let me do this here. I want to see. I want to actually do this and see what it looks like. So we're gonna leave this up. Let's go back and let's just go to classic right now. So out of the box, there is no recycle bin anymore. You don't see it here. It's not there. Okay. If I go to my classic page though, okay. If I go to classic and I go to, let's just create a test lead, new lead, test, garbage lead. Okay. And I say save, all done. Now, at this point, I have delete rights, so I can delete this lead. Okay, and it's gone. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Now, in the recycle bin, it's over here, right? And I can go to my recycle bin and see all these things that are out there. Now, these are all tasks that have been completed. Why are they all out here? Well, they're all out here because they were, they're out here because of my synchronization. It's actually link point 360. As I complete them, it moves them to deleted, I guess. It's very weird. So I haven't lost anything, so that's good. But I have empty my recycle bin or empty my organizations bin, which is fine. Okay. If you look at the deletion date, we go back to 11/20, 11/19 is the earliest we go. And that must have been when all these things happened. Must have been a synchronization. I can do everybody's recycle bin. Okay, I can do that too. There's my roll-up helpers. See that? These are all things there, and it goes back to the 13th, which is about 14 days ago, right? So these will delete. These are all exceptions. I guess I could restore these if I want, but I don't want to, right? Because what you do have the option of doing, if I just go to my recycle, let's go back to deletion date. Here's this new lead. I could say undelete, and it's going to bring it back in, and now it's there again. And there it is. And that's it. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just a matter of bringing it in. However, let's see what we can do there. I'm going to delete it again. It's back in my recycle bin, right? So if I go to leads, it is not there in my recent, okay? If I go to Lightning Edition, that's right, switch to Lightning Experience. If I go here and I go to Lightning, there's no recycle bin. So let's go back to this little cheat code and see what it does. Okay, so if I do this and get this here, and I'm going to go to my domain. Yeah, see, this is what it's going to do. I can create a custom tab, which will give me this view, but it's still a Lightning view within, I mean, it's still a classic view within the Lightning page. And that's what people are doing. They're creating like an iframe type thing is what they're doing, right? Where you have this, now you can access it from the Lightning menu, you know, you find tabs, create a new tab of web. Let's go here, let's go back to my Lightning. We'll just do it. We'll do exactly what they're doing. More, I think you have to go to setup, right? Configuration, find tabs, yeah. Tabs, custom tabs, web tab, new. We'll do full page, I guess. See what people are telling me to do here. Yeah, the URL, that's fine. We're going to put this in here. We're going to call it recycle bin. If I could spell. Give it a color, whatever. A castle, sure. Splash page, no. And then I'll just say for recycle bin in Lightning. Okay. I do this and I say next. It's going to ask for my URL, right? Which is going to be. Actually, the way they did it was this. So all I have to do is this here. And I have my domain is a little bit different. And I say, let's preview it just to see what it looks like. Let's do what's unlocking. Nope, that didn't work. Didn't like that at all. Guess we'll just preview it, and then it's probably not going to do anything, so that's fine. And then we'll just say next. And who do I want it to be for? And I can put a default on, and I say next. And and I'll just say that's fine, save it. Okay, now let's go into here, refresh the page. See if my tabs are in here. Let's see if I go to this. Let's edit my tabs. Oh, it's not in here yet. Let's just go to my, I'm going to go to the regular, yeah, that's right. I should be able to do this. Marks group, sales, let's just do sales and see what it does. See if it's in here, because it might have been my application doesn't have it. I don't know. This is all. There it is. And there it is. Boom. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like nothing. Let's tell you what. I'm going to have Becky work on this one. And we'll go from there. Because this should be in here. But it says recycle bin. I don't think we want that. I think we want that. I want this. Right? So that's why I think it's supposed to be, you know, this thing. Yeah, like that. But we'll have to check that out because that's what I want to look at to see if I can do this right. We'll figure it out. So that, I mean, that's one way of doing it. Other people say, oh, it says no longer exists. So that's what people say. You have to do this. My domain, search and delete, new. Oh, there it is. That's the difference. Lightning.force. Okay, hold on. There we go. Let's go back. Hold on. Where's my custom tabs? There it is. Edit this guy. Sorry about that, folks. That's why you scroll through everything, right? And then we'll wrap this one up really quick. Done. So now, let's go here. Lightning. Cycle bin. There it is. So I'm still in here. It's one way of doing it. And then I can undelete it if I want. I can even sit here and say, let's undelete this guy. I do it, and now I go back to leads, and there's my lead. So it's doable. It's not great because it's not there anymore, but it is there. So, okay, well, so there's a little bit added in, wasn't it? Okay, so that's it for now. I wanted to thank everyone for coming. If you're watching this on YouTube later, on our YouTube channel, appreciate you watching, give it a few minutes. I wish you the rest of the day. I wish you a good rest of the day. I will see you at the end of, I believe, January. We have yet to decide. So it'll either be end of December, end of January. Check out the newsletter. If you're not getting the newsletter, go to marksgroup.net and actually sign up for our tips and tricks webinars and our newsletter, and you'll get the Salesforce newsletter with the tips, a summary of each, and then what you'll get after that is you know, a reminder to sign up for the event, and you can attend the webinars. All right? Thank you. Have a good one. Yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye now.